Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Uniswap, Uniswap Network Token, or is it? No, Uniswap token. What am I talking about? And its valuations against Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the US dollar. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below, and also consider subscribing. So, we've been talking about Uniswap for quite a while. We were talking about the recent downtrend move, not recent, but a macro downtrend move. Ever since May, Uniswap against Bitcoin has been bleeding, and in fact, when we take it from the wick to where we are right now, we bled about 53% against Bitcoin to the absolute local bottom that we have printed. It's about 60%. Um, now, if you're unfamiliar with Uniswap, it's an automated market maker. It's a decentralized automated market maker, allowing uh, users to trade ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum network without a centralized body exchange um, to facilitate that. So something that's pretty innovative is something that I think is going to be very relevant in the near future, especially when Ethereum um, provides protocols that will help reduce gas fees, which I think is the one of the major qualms about the Ethereum network. And it's something that they chose the lesser of two evils, in my opinion. It's either you stay decentralized, keep decentralization, and you pay in gas fees, or you sacrifice decentralization for a more centralized network and to reduce and so you reduce gas fees, and that's when you see Binance network, um, BNB or Solana as an example. Very cheap gas fees, but quite centralized in their network. Ethereum is extremely decentralized. It is something that uh, I think people take for granted, essentially. And it is one of the reasons why Ethereum is the way it is. It's the first and perfect, not perfect, but first and best smart contract protocol to come into the market. And everything being built on top of it, including Uniswap, has benefited from this. And because of that, I do have a significant portion of my portfolio in Uniswap, and I have been buying Uniswap as of recent. Between 4,000 and 3,400 satoshis is where I have been buying a good chunk, maybe 50% more of my Uniswap tokens. I held most of my Uniswap tokens throughout this bleed. I did sell up a little bit along the way, but my full intentions on Uniswap is to hold my position until the market cycle is over. So what does that mean? So just briefly, when I think the market cycle top is going to be is when we look at one indicator to do is to look at Bitcoin against the monthly chart, and we look at the monthly RSI. We know that Bitcoin is capable and is able to many times in the past get to the high 90s or the low 90s or the high 80s on the monthly RSI, and that it is able to print multiple peaks. So it's usually two peaks. So there's two distinctive ones here. There's two closer between ones here. We have printed one monthly RSI peak in March, where we peaked out to about second here, where we printed to about 91.73, and we are trending upwards for to potentially make another peak. And when that other peak is done, is around going to be around the time where I'd want to start liquidating not just my Uniswap tokens, but all my tokens at that point. Ethereum, Chainlink, Uniswap, Basic Attention Token, if I still have it, Celsius, etc. Everything in my portfolio, it's going to be a fire sale at that point in time. I'll definitely let you know when that happens. But that is kind of my end goal here. And with Uniswap, that's kind of the intention that I am going to hold this asset because it is extremely new, because there's not much price history. I'm banking on that because of the lack of price history, it's going to result in very, very good returns over the market cycle. And so it is my intention to do just that. And when we saw Uniswap come back down to these levels, and we'll get to the Uniswap Ethereum chart in a moment, but I thought this was a pretty good opportunity to start accumulating Uniswap tokens again and increasing my position. And I've increased my position by about 50%. So Uniswap, Chainlink, Celsius, and potentially VeChain and Cardano are the assets that I'm looking to increase or start positions in again during this current period of time. I've done my job with Uniswap and I've had my position now, increased it. I'm happy with it. I'm letting it ride. And so now we're seeing the benefits of that, right? Uniswap is up 10.81% against Bitcoin right now. We've gotten back up to 4,000 Satoshis. The hurdle now is going to be talking about the this downward line of resistance that Uniswap has been struggling with since May, right? We saw the first peak here. We saw this point here, an intense fight against this line, and then the first week of October we broke down. Like the fight was over. We came back to extreme low levels, but now we're bouncing back up. And if we were the percentage needed for Uniswap to get to this line again would be an additional 10% for this week. I don't know if we're gonna get there by this week. Um, Depending on what Bitcoin really does. If I think if Bitcoin gets down to the 20-week moving average, becomes 50-50 at that point. But it seems like with this bounce, if it is a bounce, we're going to see another test of this line. And when it does come, that'll be a very interesting moment for this asset if we're able to break through. If we are, then it's happy days. And start to let it ride essentially. When we look at the Uniswap Ethereum valuation in the chart, it becomes a little bit more clear, right? You can see that there's well-defined peaks here. Let me just short this. Yeah, so like the wick at the first week came up to 0.022 Ethereum, but I mean like the months later, back in March, we saw it peak at this level as well. And so you can see well-defined peaks and a clear bottom, right? We saw a wick here back in November, and then we had candle bounces in January. And lo and behold, this bleed that we've been having here has come to this line at 0.004608 Ethereum. And what? We're bouncing. We're up 8% against Ethereum today, or for this week, sorry. Now, this looks very, very nice, right? It's very pretty, and it's something that I'm very satisfied about. But it doesn't. Uniswap does not have to play the same kind of games that we humans do. It does what it wants. So again, we're looking at the 20-week moving average as a potential resistance line. We are far away from it, so I don't know if it's even a conversation to be having at this point. But to keep in mind, we did wick to this level twice and got rejected, and for us to get back to the 20-week moving average on the uni ether chart, we would have to increase another 38.68% this week. So I don't think that's gonna happen this week. That's a tall order for Uniswap unless it goes bonkers, right? Which is entirely possible, but I'm not banking on it. I'm also not banking that it has to bounce here. We've had significant moves on the week, like the week of September 20th. You saw Uniswap rally 9.44% against Ethereum. You also saw here on May 24th, the week of May 24th, Uniswap rallied 34% against Ethereum. And lo and behold, we bled all the way back down. Um, I guess you can argue that there wasn't clear support lines at those areas. And here we do, which is fair. And also, we are bouncing off of the RSI. And it lined up pretty evenly to about 30 on the RSI, maybe a little lower from last week. So there's a lot of good things going for Uniswap, and I'm still very bullish on it, and I will let this ride. We'll see, and this is very speculative, but over the next year or half a year, 6 months, okay, uh, if we see Uniswap rally, I wonder what it's gonna do when it comes up to this level. Does it get rejected again? Do we break through it? And if we get rejected off of it, then we can have a conversation of the nature of Uniswap finally. That Uniswap is not necessarily outpacing Ethereum, but it oscillates. There are periods where it outpaces it extraordinarily well, and then periods of it being outpaced by Ethereum. Much like that we see with VeChain, right? If I bring up the VeChain chart, you see periods of rallies against Ethereum that are quite amazing. And at the same time, you see these stark bleeds against Ethereum, and it continues to do so. Cardano is another example of this. So if Uniswap does get rejected off of the top line here, then it becomes another asset to take into consideration when you want to hedge your bets against Ethereum. When you want to increase your Ethereum holdings, you can use this. You could use Uniswap. It becomes another tool in your tool belt, essentially. But for now, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We gotta wait until months have come, months have passed, and see where we are with Uniswap. Do we begin the trend reversal and start trending back up, or do we break the floor and come to lower levels, right? Which is entirely possible, right? And get to levels that we've never seen before. I know that the opening weekly candle goes down to about 0.002661, but um, I don't know if we'll necessarily go that low. It's entirely within the realm of possibility. Hell, I'll even put a line here just so that we have it up, and then we can keep that in mind. And if it does go there, then I can eat my words. But it seems like Uniswap has a lot of the good things going and a lot of things that insinuate that the bounce is here, that this is the actual bounce. But we shall see. We could also see Uniswap just move sideways at this point, make a bottom and then rally up, right? Like it doesn't have to have an immediate bounce, much like it did at the beginning of the year. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.